So the finalists for each NBA award has finally been announced, and we will be going over them today and how I react to them. Starting off with MVP, we have Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, and Joel Embiid, the three best players this season. Curry has been averaging 32 points this season. He's been going off. Jokic has been doing it all, leading the Nuggets to the number 3 seed, if I believe, and maybe I think it's the number 3 seed, even without Jamal Murray for um, partial of the season due to his injury, but he has been carrying the Nuggets even with Jamal Murray. He's been helped, but while he's been out, the Nuggets have had a pretty, I think definitely a winning record due to Jokic carrying them. With Embiid, he hasn't played the most this season, which is I think the only reason I'm giving it to Jokic. I think that if Embiid did play the full season, he would probably have won MVP, mainly because they are the 1 seed. But with Simmons' help, he's of course possibly the defensive player of the year. We'll have to see. But yeah, Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, and Joel Embiid. I can definitely agree with these guys as the MVP candidates. Next up is the Rookie of the Year. We have Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, and Tyrese Halliburton. I do agree with this again. I think all these guys definitely deserve to be up here. Starting off with LaMelo Ball, he was really nice, clearly the Rookie of the Year at the beginning of the season, but due to his injury that I think was a broken wrist, he was believed to be out for the rest of the season. He wasn't, but I think Anthony Edwards still took that. He was averaging 20. He was averaging about 19, 5, and 3 this past season with LaMelo Ball. I think he was pretty close behind, if I'm being honest. He was averaging around, I think it was about 16, 6, and 6. He's been more the playmaker, but I think Anthony Edwards has been most of the scorer. And I'm going to have to give it to Anthony Edwards in this situation with MVP. I think it's a pretty unanimous vote. It's going to be Jokic. But I think here I'm going to have to go with Anthony Edwards. I think he kind of stole it during the second half of the season while LaMelo Ball was out. So I'm going to have to give it to Anthony Edwards here for Rookie of the Year. The number 1 overall pick gets the award. Moving on to Most Improved Player of the Year. I think the 3 candidates are pretty obvious. The 3, we may have a surprise here. Christian Wood is not on this list. Instead, it is Julius Randle, of course. So is Jeremy Grant, of course. And then Michael Porter Jr. I think Michael Porter Jr. definitely deserves this. He was one of the top guys I think could win this award. I think at the beginning of the season I made my predictions. It was Shea Gilgeous-Alexander at 1, Michael Porter Jr. at 2. I did not see Jeremy Grant or Julius Randle coming out of anywhere. I think nobody did. I had the Knicks, the 14 seed. But MPJ really stepped up this season, especially with Jamal Murray out. He was averaging like 20 points. But Julius Randle, it's not even the stats. It's not even in the stats too much. You can't really see how much he's improved stat-wise, but carrying the Knicks to number 4 seed, as many people have them in the bottom 13 to 12 seeds, it's pretty spectacular how he led them to the number 4 seed as they faced the Hawks in the first round of the playoffs. But yeah, I think that Julius Randle, they all deserve the award, but I think in this case, I don't think you can pass up the chance on Julius Randle. So I think a unanimous vote here with Julius Randle getting it. I think maybe some people might be biased and give it to Jeremy Grant, but I think it's pretty obvious that it will be Julius Randle. Now moving on to 6th man of the year, this is what I don't understand, right? Joe Ingles, Jordan Clarkson, and Derrick Rose are the finalists. You have Derrick Rose, of course. He was one of the best moves that the Knicks made this past season, trading for him for Dennis Smith Jr., I believe, or was it somebody else? I think it was Dennis Smith Jr. From the Pistons. He was their 6th man. He's been on fire as their 6th man. He's been really nice all season. He's averaging about 15, like 3 and 4 off the bench. But you have Joe Ingles and Jordan Clarkson. Of course, Joe Ingles started about, I'm going to look at this quickly because I definitely need to see how many games he started, because I know that he did start a lot of games. This past season he started 30 games out of 67 that he played. That's almost half the games that he started. I think you have to. I mean, I guess they probably have rules saying that you have to be on the bench for more than half, but bro, you still started like basically half of the games that you played, which I don't really find, because of course you're going to score more if you start, opposed to like Jordan Clarkson, who, if I look at this quickly, he started 1 game out of the 68 he played. That I can understand for 6th man of the year. If I look at Derrick Rose, I'm pretty sure he probably started maybe like 1 or 2. How many did he start? He started 3. He started 3 out of the 35 he played with the Knicks. He started 0 out of the 15 he played with the Pistons. So there you go. He started 3 out of the basically 50 games that he played. So I think I just don't really see how Joe Ingles and Jordan Clarkson can both be on this list. Of course, one of them have to be the sixth man. You know what I mean? I mean, one of them has to be the sixth man. The other has to be the seventh. They both can't be six mans. You know what I mean? This is the second straight year that it's happened. Last year it was, of course, Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell from the Clippers. I don't really understand it, but in this case, I don't think it's going to be Joe Ingles. The only reason it will be Joe Ingles is because he literally started half the games he played. So if he wins it, it's not going to be too great on Twitter and stuff. But I'm gonna have to close this award down to Derrick Rose or Jordan Clarkson. But I'm gonna have to give it to Jordan Clarkson. He's the real sixth man of the year. Joe Ingles is not. I think Jordan Clarkson balled out this season. He kind of slowed down the second half of the season, but he definitely played really good for this for the first half and the middle, and hopefully he steps up for the playoffs too. But moving on, Defensive Player of the Year. Oh my. Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, and Benjamin Simmons. Ben Simmons and, of course, Rudy Gobert were the two guaranteed ones. The race is going to be down to them. I think, I'm going to say it right now, I think it's going to be Rudy Gobert for sure. But it's definitely going to be Simmons and Gobert on this list. I think we all thought that Bam Adebayo would be the third one on this list. Instead, it's Draymond Green. Now, I think I'm going to try to remember the voting from the top of my head. It was Rudy Gobert at 1, Ben Simmons at 2. I think it was Draymond Green at 3. And at 4th, it was Clint Capella. And 5th, it was tied between, like, Matisse Thybulle. I think KCP was on there. And Bam Adebayo. And, like, I think maybe even Drew Holiday is on there, too. I'm not too sure. But KCP was tied with Bam to win Defensive Player of the Year. That is just hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh, my God. I cannot even believe that. But like I said, I think Gobert definitely gets it. I think the only reason that he's going to get it is because he's the 1 seed. Now that I think about it, the Sixers were also the 1 seed. But I think that if you look at the Jazz team, you don't really have two great defensive players on that team, other than, of course, Rudy Gobert. The best player on that team is Donovan Mitchell, but he's like, of course, he's an offensive player. He's not that great. He's not that great of a defensive player. But if you look at the Sixers, you have a guy like Joel Embiid, who's really good defensively too. So it's not Ben Simmons carrying defensive, the defense. But I think one thing I will do quickly is put this picture up on the screen, and I will read it quickly. Just going through right now. NBA 2021 All-Stars when guarded by Rudy Gobert, a 49% field goal percentage. Against Ben Simmons, it's a 48% field goal percentage. Against Draymond Green, it's a 47 field goal percentage. Against Bam Adebayo, it's a 36 field goal percentage. Bam Adebayo, it's 36. Draymond Green, 47. Ben Simmons, 48. Rudy Gobert, 49. I think you can kind of understand where this is going. Bam Adebayo should have been a Defensive Player of the Year finalist. But hey, it's fine. Moving on to our last award, we have Tom Thibodeau with the Knicks, Quinn Snyder with the Jazz, and Monty Williams with the Suns. All three of these coaches did a really good job coaching these teams. Starting off with Monty Williams, of course, I think a lot of people did not think that the Suns team would be all the way up on this list. They were the number 2 seed, 51-21, only one game behind the 52-20 Jazz. But Monty Williams got right to work. He was definitely the bubble coach of the coach of the bubble, if that makes sense. The bubble coach of the year. I don't know. You get what I mean. He was the best coach in the bubble. Team went 8-0, led by D-Book, and they still didn't even make the play-in in the bubble. Keep that in mind. In the play-in. So I don't really understand how you go perfect in the bubble. You still don't even have a chance to have a chance to make. You don't even have a chance to have the chance to make a playoffs, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this team stepped up, was almost the 1 seed. So Monty Williams definitely, I would think, deserves this award. Quinn Snyder led his team to the 1 seed. Monty Williams and Quinn Snyder basically in the same position, 1 and 2 seeds. only one game apart from each other in the West. But in the East, it's Tom Thibodeau here. But I'm gonna be honest. I will have to give the award to Monty Williams. He's a great coach and put this team right to work. The Jazz have had this team for a couple of years now, with Mitchell, Gobert, and Bojan Bogdanovic and Joe Ingles. Jordan Clarkson, I think, is new. Sorry, I need to see when Jordan Clarkson joined the Jazz. He joined the Jazz in it was last season. Yeah, it was last season. He was with Cleveland before. That's why. So he's had this team for at least 2 seasons with Mitchell. Like I said, Mitchell, Gobert, Bogdanovich, and Clarkson and Ingles. But this Suns team is almost brand new. You have an improved Aiden, an improved Devin Booker, a new starting point guard, a new starting power forward. Mikal Bridges, I think, was on the team last year, but he definitely wasn't starting almost every single game. So credits to Monty Williams for putting this team together, making them the 2 seed right away. And there are my awards. I think most people can agree with it. Jokic for MVP, Anthony Edwards for Rookie of the Year, Julius Randle for Most Improved, Jordan Clarkson for Sixth Man of the Year, Rudy Gobert for Defensive Player of the Year, and Monty Williams for Coach of the Year. That will wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure if you want to see like more of these videos with the highlights in the background or face cam, whatever, or if you want to see both. But that's gonna wrap up. You guys have a great day, and the playing game starts soon, and the playoffs start tomorrow. Peace.